God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So I met this old man. He was so poor, didn't hold no bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, never heard him complain. He said that proof it got again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. The landlord weighs the rent, school fees due, partner drop bones, and the youth them need you. Friends all ask me what I'm gonna do. I smile and tell them that God will see me through. No matter what the circumstances may be, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. I met this old man. He was so poor, he didn't hold no bed, so he slept on the floor. He's always smiling, I never heard him complain. He said I've proven that again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, no, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the bad. To separate me from you. Love my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. I love you.
Okay. Good afternoon to all my listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rebel Radio. Well, the big news is that election date has been announced. Yes, man, election date is September 3rd. Nomination day will be next week, Monday. So the parties are now putting on their, or should I say, shining their running boots. Yes. And I have a bet about which party is going to win the election. I'm going to solidify that bet later this week. Yes. And well, coincidentally, our elections will be on the 3rd. Guyana's election will be on the 1st. And it is interesting to see what is happening in the Caribbean, where 4 countries are having elections this year. 2 have already had. Yes, Trinidad and Suriname. So we are now waiting for Guyana, Jamaica, and St. Vincent. Let us see what is going to happen. All right, I have with me to talk about elections Councillor Robinson from the Balaclava Division, and also Councillor Barneswell from the 8th Division, but Councillor Barneswell is the candidate for Southeastern Clarendon. He is the man who is challenging the Minister of Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr., with me. Gentlemen, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Sir Richard. How are you doing? Thanks for having me. My friend, how you doing?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Richard, and it's Alligator upon Division.
Yes.
You mentioned Balaclava.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alligator Pond Division. Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
What is DJ?
Huh?
Is this Robinson?
Yes, Councillor Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with you, Mr. Barneswell. Mr. Barneswell, you are in Clarendon. You're on the plains. So tell us, what are your chances? Are you going to unseat the minister?
Well, I must tell you that come the night of September 3, Southeast Clarendon will have a new member of parliament, and the name will be Stian Barneswell. How much I can tell you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. And you are confident about that, Mr. Barneswell?
Well, I've been putting in the work, and the people are saying that time come.
Yes.
And you don't want anything more than the people power.
Yes. Right.
Nothing be people power.
Mm-hmm.
So the people decide that it's time now for a change.
Yes.
Time for a action.
Just tell my listeners and viewers, give them the area, just tell them, just locate your constituency for us.
All right. Southeast Clarendon is located between Southwestern Catherine and Southwest Clarendon.
Yes.
All right. The borders with Freetown borders with Old Harbour, our Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And we border with Southwest in Town and also in Longwood.
Yes.
We go up into the hills, which is White Content, and that's where the parish boundary and the road will separate us again from Southwest St. Catherine.
Mm-hmm. And
to the north central, we are separated from Rock River with moors, land grass.
All right.
So it's a very wide constituency. It has 46,000 electors.
Yes.
On the voters list. It has been, the constituency has won, well, technically 3 times, and I say technically because in 89, late Emmanuel Cousins would have went into magisterial recount with former MP Shearer.
Yes.
And there's a story that is told as to why the magisterial recount didn't continue. Mm-hmm. And then Peter Bunting came in 1993, and we won the constituency handsomely, over 2,000 plus votes margin. And again, we won it in 97. with Basil Burrell. And we lost it in 2002. In 2007, I was the then candidate in 2007, the one of the youngest at the time who entered for MP, wasn't successful. Derek Lambert came in 2011, lost it by, I think, under 100 or close to 100. Then Patricia Duncan Sutherland came in 2016 and 2020. And wasn't successful, but the people decided that we have watched you grow, we have seen you mature, we have watched your progress, you have mastered the thing, you were former mayor of Maple and you did well, and we think the time has come, or the time is now here for you to go forward as one new MP. So people have been watching the progressing, and they feel that it's now the best chance on it to move on, and they feel that now is the time for you to take on the mantle and to make Southeast Clarendon a place of choice where everybody feels like somebody, and where there's the economic opportunities, and where we create a space or create spaces for young people to socialize, integrate, and to make to see their true potential. So here I am.
Okay.
And I must say the support has been overwhelming so far. We have been doing the work. The comrade leader came and did a visit with me 2 Thursdays ago, and he started the second phase of the bus tour in the constituency, well, border Southeast, Southwest Clarendon, and the support has been overwhelming, and it keep getting better each time we go on the road. So just keep pressing on, keep pressing flesh. Don't listen to the naysayers, just remain focused. And again, as I said, the night of September 3, look for Southeast Clarendon in the winning column for the People's National Party.
Okay. Lionel Town is the capital of your constituency, right?
Not the capital, no. I wouldn't say Lionel Town is.
Yes.
It used to be a business hub, but since the JLP had sold out Monimus and plunged that section of the parish in poverty, very little economic opportunity really lies in Lionel Town. The banks closed, and it's just a credit union that is there, 2 working ABM machine. Most of the businesses are supermarkets and store, and I think hardware store. But that's what is happening in Lionel Town. People are now using small businesses such as backyard farming, round robins and parties and beauty salons to really survive.
Yes.
So that bustling town of Lionel Town when Monimus was Monimus, where you could put on your pot and come fortnight to get your money, people can't do that anymore.
Yes.
So we are hoping that this new factory being proposed by the Indian group, it will come to fruition, but it will happen. It will happen, but not under this present government.
Yes.
It will be Mark Jefferson's golden government that will supervise or cut the ribbon when the factory is completed and open, so that people can once again be employed and start to get their life back to where it used to be.
Yes. Councillor Barnswell, what are some of the main issues in Southeast?
For Southeast, the main issue that affects the people in Southeast Clarendon is job creation. Unemployment is a challenge. Bad roads in the community. Since we highlight the Salt River stretch, the corridor from Freetown to Darkinston corridor was in a deplorable state, and I highlighted it in some social media video. I see where they do some patching out, but you patch it, but you don't clean the drain to get the water off the road. So as soon as they get some rain, that you're going to flood, the road going back to square one. So it's just a knee-jerk reaction, but we're not going to pay that no mind, because we're going to fix it the right way, because we know what Southeast Clarendon want. So bad roads, both at National Work Agency, the MP roads, and the community roads are in the deplorable state. And the fisher folks really need places to store their catch when they come in at late night, and they need lights at the beach. The port and cottage need a public sanitary convenience. The Salt River fishing village also need a proper space where they can able to, bring their boats up at their catch and have it secure. So those are some issues. Not having recreational grounds across all of the communities, or most communities, have little or no space to play football, netball, whatever it is. There is no recreational facility. They're overgrown with shrubs and trees. So we want to restore those and bring them back so that the people can now enjoy their community. There's lack of street lights within, and again, with the PNP administration, we don't have to wait on the minister to approve. but we work out a formula in which persons can get lights. I will like split up these areas, whether JPS or solar light. We're going to deal with those stuff. Cemetery, and this impact on Clarendon in general. The Denby Cemetery is out of space. We only have the Rocky Point Cemetery. The Campus Settlement Cemetery is almost full. So we are, and the one by New Boyne, it's really for New Boyne's community. So we are out of burial space. So this is something we need to look at. The other thing we need to look at is that we need to have affordable houses for the people of Southeast Clarendon. And we're looking at the Lindsay property going down to from Mitchelltown Crossing going to Rocky Point Portland Cottage. To put some even 500 of those NHG houses there and change the mindset of the people living in the Rocky Point division. That we can have a nice, proper gated community where people can from outside can come in and live and feel comfortable, mingle with the people who live within the local and start up an economic opportunity along that corridor. We're going to bring back regatta to Rocky Point. For every independence, we have that kind of festivity which used to happen back then. It used to be sponsored by McEwan, Stout and Dragon. We're going to bring back these things because Rocky Point used to be what is the O3 is now. And I think we can do it, but we just need persons who know the area, know what needs to be done, bring the different stakeholders together, and create economic opportunities. We have done it before, we can do it again. But you need the right person in the chair, the right person driving that economic train. And Sian Banzel is that person.
Okay, I want you to, both of you gentlemen, just hold it there for me. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is what built fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
shine for the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends, light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. We are talking politics. As you know, the election date has been announced, September 3rd. And we have with us Councillor Robinson from the Alligator Pond Division, the PNP candidate for Southeast Clarendon, Councillor Sian Barneswell. And joining us is Councillor Leighton Smith from the Myersville Division in St. Elizabeth. Let me hop over to Councillor Robinson. Councillor Robinson, what is happening in Alligator Pond?
Greetings to you and all the listeners on Rebel Radio. And I first must commend Councillor Barneswell, the incoming Member of Parliament for South East Clarendon. He is equipped with a reservoir of knowledge and experience to take South East to the level where they should be. And as we mentioned, Rocky Point, I can relate because Rocky Point was one of those areas when I was a young man and I watched both Rocky Point and Alligator Point proper. And to know that little Ochi would have gone so far ahead of what is happening there in Rocky Point. And with proper leadership, the people will benefit more from what they have there as natural resources. Tourists want to come to a space where they feel safe, a space where people are warm and friendly. And with Comrade Barnesville at the wheel, I'm sure they will see that in the very near future. You mentioned September 3rd. We have been waiting on the announcement for months now. It is finally here. We are no longer calling for the date. We are preparing our logistics. We are strategizing on how to bring out the vote. Most of the candidates we have, they are aware of the numbers. You know, politics is a numbers game, and we proper canvassing, meeting the people, touching the people like we would have learned from Michael Manley. It is one of those elections, and when you hear the song Blood and Fire come out, it has resonated with the people. A song used by Norman Manley back in the days, and it's now up and running and it's catching the campaign trail by fire. Most persons are saying that, boy, they used to love the message my father Barney. But I tell you, this Blood and Fire song, it is appropriate for the time that we are in. And the people already have been on the campaign with the party leader on the national level. Many of these parish meetings, I would have been on the platform, feeling the energy of the people, feeling them in their eyes, and I see the pain that they have suffered over the last 9 years. Time come for a change, time come for Jamaica to put the petty things aside and realize that Jamaica needs leadership with integrity. Yeah. And when I look at it, this should be a no-brainer for people to just go to the polling station and vote against corruption. It should be a no-brainer for people to go to the poll and vote against a failing education system. It should be a no-brainer for people to go to the poll and realize that the hospitals right across Jamaica, the hospitals are in a bad state. And if Jamaicans really don't understand what is happening, for us to rescue Jamaica, you must vote for the People's National Party. Yes. It is sad that a government would have promised so many things. They would have failed in so many areas. And after you get so many wrong bands, how can you come to the people and ask for another term? It is unfair, and the people of Jamaica do not stay at home. Go out and exercise your franchise. Go out and make the mark. Do the right thing, because all of you listening deserve better. Yeah. And for me, better is with the People's National Party. For South Manchester, better is with Bunting.
Mm-hmm. So in Manchester, are you ready? Are we ready to take back Manchester for the PNP?
We are scheduled for a sweep we are going all out to make it full love in Manchester. I can tell you for South Manchester, they would have analyzed the candidate that won in 2020, and they replaced him with a man who is from the area, but he has no social connection. He has no form of prize to say he did that in the area. So the chance they took, it is backfiring on them, because they would have thought that this new person that they brought in would have gotten them some momentum. But I can report that Peter Bunting is leading in South Manchester, and we are going to run all the way to the finish line. We are going to make sure that we win South Manchester by 1,500 or more vote margin. That is the aim, and we're going to send a message right across Jamaica to sweep this. We're going for this week. Right now, I'm looking at a minimum of 35, but we can go further. We can go to 40 plus. Jamaicans, go out and vote for the People's National Party.
Yes. Councillor Smith, St. Elizabeth is without one PNP seat. What are you planning to do?
Well, for sure, consider we want to do this. That we are taking home Southeast Elizabeth for the People's National Party and Comrade Norman Cross.
Yes.
So we started in the country for 1 year now, this month 1 year. And we have done the work. We have put in the work, and we are quite satisfied with where we are right now. Our canvas is telling us that we are here.
Yes.
Our house now, our knocking at each door, our staff meeting, we are doing it, and every day we are out there, we are getting a lot more requests for us. We just wanted to see the candidates. I think for sure that this will be one of the biggest voter turnout in Southeast Elizabeth for years.
Yes.
And as we all know that Southeast Elizabeth is one of the constituents that always have the highest voter turnout in this country. And about probably about 2 or 3 elections, 2011 and I think 2016, the voter turnout was about 71%.
Yes.
And I'm not looking for nothing less than that.
Yes.
I think the work that Congress Cup is doing, the people are pleased with what he's doing. And his plans for the conference going forward to take up somewhere Comrade Rochester handle. Because to be honest with you, since Comrade Rochester left, there have been no development to say in Junction. Comrade Leonard Place do electrify his 1 term, Comrade Park then do electrify his 1 term, but the JC has 3 terms now as member of Parliament. He done it 2007 to 2011, and from 2016 to 2025 now. And he has done absolutely nothing as development in this conference. If you look at the Junction, all the development buildings by Junction was built by Comrade Derek Rochester. Nothing was done or is done by the sitting member of Parliament. So, with that being said and done, our candidate now is concentrated to take his first term to development and to continue on some of what Comrade Rochester has left. And one of the main things to fire, we have a health center in Junction, that was built without being to accommodate a maternity room.
Yes.
So going further, his plan is to get this Junction Health Center into a mini hospital for the Southern Coast. We are talking about the Southern Coast development for tourism. We need to have a hospital on that side. So people don't have to run to Black River and to Mandeville.
Yes.
We can have our own hospital. That's what I think. Plan for the constituency.
Okay, sir. So, so
Hello?
no, yes. So you are saying that in Southeast, the
Hello?
yes,
Right here.
you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I did plan over many for the constituency. And as I said, the work everything on the ground, our field canvas is not big movement that we are comfortable with.
Okay, yes, but the seat that I am interested in, St. Elizabeth, I want to know that seat that was held by the former Minister of Agriculture.
Not hear anybody?
Are you hearing me?
I am here.
Are you hearing me, Councillor Smith?
Not hearing anybody.
I don't know. We are hearing you, but I don't know why. What is happening there? Councillor Barneswell, you are there?
Yes, I'm still here.
And Councillor Robinson, you are there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Are you hearing Councillor Smith?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Mr. Smith?
Yes?
Okay, you are hearing us?
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, all right. No, I was asking you, the constituency represented by the former Minister of Agriculture there, remind me his name, no man. He has been in St. Elizabeth. He's a St. Elizabeth man. Not Mr. Whitterman. Wow.
What is it? What are you talking? What is that?
Not Derek, man.
Leonard Blake?
No, that's Leonard Blake, the former Minister of Agriculture, man.
Roger Clark?
Not Roger. JLP Minister. JC Hutchinson seat, right. What you know what is happening over there?
Well, the feedback everything is that the carriers for the people from the party is doing some good work. I know that it's a name for for example, the Labour Party there, which I think is not known as, which are JC. And this person can be Patricia Forrester. She's doing a lot of work on the ground, and what I'm hearing, she's making some headway in the constituency.
Yes. So you think Miranda can take back the seat from current minister?
Yes, I think so. I think we can feel the same way we can share the seat, and don't be surprised if we get the good one. These are what we hear in the Northwest.
Okay.
But I don't see why we can't bring Southeast Elizabeth, Southwest, and Northeast Elizabeth.
Okay.
I don't see why we won't, because the work that is being done on the ground, it is looking good.
Yes. And Manchester, as Mr. Robinson pointed out, is looking for at least 3-1. Can Mr. Wint take hardly short seat? In Councillor Robinson, what do you think?
Well, I tell you, the best time for us, and Wint has been a man on the ground there that have contributed so much to that area. He's from the area.
Yes, I know.
So when Mr. Shaw would have said man a yard, Mr. Wint is also a man of his own yard too. So let us see, and I can tell you they are working every single day. They're not getting any rest up there, and they import somebody to run against Mr. Valvin, who is from the area. So it tells me that this party that we are up against will pull people from anywhere just to fill a vacancy. Or we are a party with quality, or we have quality representation there in Wint, and he will do very well for us to pull through the 4 Love. We're going all out for the 4 Love. Wednesday we're going on a tour. And I tell you, we're going to touch some of the areas up there in his constituency to shore it up and make sure that the PNP base remains vibrant and keep the momentum going straight to victory.
Yes. Councillor Barneswell, in Clarendon, what are your projections for Clarendon?
Well, for Clarendon, I don't really want to do the projection. You know. All 6 candidates are working to win.
Yes.
So that's the projection. All 6 are working to win. I know in it was in 97, we had 5-1. 5 PNP constituency to 1 for the JLP. So I'm just saying that everybody's working to win. So the projection is 6-0.
Yes, I see.
And the reason why I'm saying that is that, remember, we're going back again. Central Clarendon is at Mike Henry.
Yes.
And as the candidate for Central said that we can blow where they fed up. You know, so it is looking good. I must say, overall, it is looking good across the parish. The comments are upbeat. We have been doing the work for the last 2 years. We've been prepared for 2-in-1 general and parish council election. So we have been doing the work. We have been doing the canvassing. We have been keeping the meetings, and we have been seeing the results at the divisional conferences and the constituency conferences. We have seen the support at the party's annual conference. We have seen the support at the regional conferences, and we have just keep pressing flesh, touching base with the people, being there, make our presence being felt, and sharing our vision with the people, plus the party policies when it forms government, what it will do to make people's life better. And the people are liking it, they're loving it. And as a result, they're coming out in their numbers to vote PNP and vote for Mark Jeffrey to Golden and vote for their candidate in that order.
Okay. At the councillor level, one of the things that I know must be on the agenda of the councillors is for an election of officers at the organization representing councillors. That organization is... Yes. That has been put place at hold,
pending the general election.
Yes.
So after the general election, that will be an agenda item. But for now, the focus is winning the general election, and then the president, well, I wouldn't call him president because he has overstayed his time because the Constitution speaks for 2 years. And he has overstayed his time. But nevertheless, after the general election, when the new administration is formed, we will deal with that.
Okay. So all is now in gear for September 3rd. Next week, Monday, is nomination day. And one of the things that at Rebel Radio, we are asking all candidates, JLP and PNP candidates, for us to have a peaceful, free and fair elections. No violence. Let us, people, go out and poll their votes and let it be peaceful, free and fair. That's what we are asking for. So, each of you can have your final word. You have Mr. Smith started.
We have been maintaining the peace.
Yes.
Despite provocation. Provocation meaning they have been removing our paraphernalia, our flags, our billboards. Each we erect them, they remove them, but we have been maintaining the peace. We have not disturbed enough beers. That's a clear indication who is the aggressor. And so because our thing is that billboards can't vote. It's the people who will be voting. You know, flags can't vote. It's the people who will be voting. So we are just still maintaining it. Rise above them, show leadership, showing quality, and that is what we are delivering to the people.
Okay. Mr. Smith, your final word?
Well, I can say that we're taking the JLP no. And remember our farming right now because last night we have gone into the town of Junction. We have put up some billboards and we have some poles with some orange cloth and short 15 this morning. They go throw down all the orange cloth and take down some of the billboards. We did not show that one of the billboards on their flats last night just because we were working. So they say that we are not up for the confrontation. We won't retaliate because we know what we are working for and the vote is what we are concentrating on getting our vote. But I'm just asking them to stop it because we are not coming here so they should leave ours alone.
Okay. Mr. Robinson?
Well, I said to you and Billy Players, we will not put them closer because I would have witnessed similar incidents. It seemed as they came off the bus last night, they start taking down our colors. And, you get upset at first, but after you count to 10, I realized that we have to remain focused. We have to set our eyes on the prize and avoid all distractions. We are in this to win this. And if we are going to waste time on the distractions, we don't want to derail our strides to victory. The People's National Party, with the quality representatives that we have, we are seeing the finish line. The line is there. It's for us to now execute with each stride, lean for the tape, and bring this home to victory for the People's National Party. And Mark Jefferson Golden will become the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. The only thing I want to say to the other team that they must think about the people who they are telling no to choose Jamaica. Because up to this point, after all the video clippings of men in green color tearing down paraphernalia, I haven't heard anything about men being arrested for all of these vandalism that they are doing. And if you're saying to Jamaica, you must set some example. You must make sure that people pay for these breaches. And we, on the other hand, I must commend the comrades out there who are not drawn into these cascades and they are staying focused. They are maintaining the principles of the greatest political party in the Western Hemisphere. We are the party of love. We are the party of good leadership and governance, participatory governance, and we will be in power after September 3rd ballots are counted. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Robinson. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both and all three of you. And at Rebel Radio, we wish you all the success. Thank you very much. Yes, that was, as I said, Councillors Robinson from the Alligator Pond Division, Councillor Barneswell, who is the candidate for South East Clarendon, and Councillor Leighton Smith from the Myersville Division. Yes, so you heard it. They are ready, and based on what they told us there a while ago, that they are planning to make a clean sweep. Yes, well, let us see how this is going to work out on September 3rd. Yes. This is Rebel Radio. Let us go for a break.
everybody's sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
And vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends, light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, and as I said at the start of the program, we are on election time, and we at Rebel Radio have been informing you about elections in 5 Caribbean countries this year. Yesterday, the Prime Minister announced our election date for September 3rd. Over in Guyana, elections will be held on September 1. Yes, and let us hop over there now to find out what is happening. And I have with me senior journalist Adam Harris. Adam, how are you today?
Well, I'm fine, my brother.
Yeah.
I had 1 month of rest. I was with my sisters and I enjoyed myself.
Yes.
So now I am back home, ready for anything.
Including the elections.
Including elections more than anything else.
Yes.
More than anything else.
Yes, yes. So that is coming up in a couple of weeks. So
That's right.
the elections, one thing I know, the elections are going to be held on a fraud list. And I see where the ruling party has, or the commission has introduced some new rules about the use of cell phones on election day. Tell us what is happening.
Well, that cell phone business started a couple of elections ago, where the ruling party had a way of giving out, well, it's giving out money to people anyhow. And to get the money, people have to take a photograph of their ballot to show how they voted.
Huh.
Now, that is called, well, we say it is vote buying, and it is illegal. So there is a discussion with the Ghana Elections Commission to prevent that kind of thing. But the chairman was reported to be saying that she doesn't want anybody to give the election staff their phone to keep. But there's a way of doing it, man.
Yes.
If, like, in some schools in North America, you cannot enter the classroom with a phone.
Yes.
You collect it when you're leaving. And it's the same thing there. The voting exercise doesn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Right.
Excuse me. So somebody you should give up the phone, and when you're leaving, you collect it.
Yes, yes. Okay.
So that is one of the issues. I don't know where that will end. And on social media, we see a lot of photographs, and all of them feature people looking like me, jumping up and saying, yeah, we're voting for this party, we're voting for the government. And I said to myself, my God, look how low we have come for a few dollars.
Yes.
As I was telling somebody today too, I said, it's like when you throw money, not money, you throw corn to fowl. They fowl eat the corn, and when it's finished, it runs back to you for more.
Yes.
What will happen when you refuse to give them more? That is the problem.
Yes. So, from what you know, the election will be held on the existing voters list.
Yes, a large voters list, and it is forcing the opposition to have its people be very, very vigilant. We argued that they're using the ID card, and when you go into the polling station, the returning officer holds up the ID card. If you're 10 feet away, you cannot make out the image on the ID card.
Okay.
And the alternative is for the people to ask that they pass the ID card to them. But I don't know if that is going to happen.
Right.
We'll have to be very vigilant in areas where we know the people and we know the name. You are in a position to object to a voter. So we will see what happens there.
Okay. Yeah. Last week, I saw where the president promoted a number of police men. Is that his responsibility to do?
You mean to the people?
No, I said I saw the president in Guyana promoting policemen.
Yes. Oh, that was a laugh.
Yes.
He doesn't have the authority to do that. So that was pointed out to him. 2 days later, the commissioner has the authority to promote people below the level of inspector. So the police commissioner put out a list, and we now notice that a number of people who were eligible for promotion were not promoted because they refused to go have their photograph taken to say that they are supporting the government. So that is one issue, and we hope that the others learn. So that is one. The other thing that is happening is the rally. Now, the parties have had their rally, are having rallies across the country. Now, the government has a way of hiring a lot of buses and ferrying people to rally sites, like when they go in a PNC stronghold, they carry in these large numbers of people.
Yes.
But we said, as the opposition leader pointed out, they've been doing that, and then they see the results, and everybody sees the results. So you know that that's a waste of time. The opposition, they have been having a large rally. But there is this fellow, Muhammad. Now, he was once a friend with the government. He was a Muslim, and the president was a Muslim, and they were all close.
Yes.
But then America sanctioned him. And the government decided to move against him for tax evasion and all of that.
Right.
But they couldn't get anywhere in court because they claim he imported high-end vehicles. Now, 4 years ago, he brought in these vehicles or so. You collected the taxes he paid on it and you said nothing. The Americans now come and say, well, the vehicles are undervalued and you want to take him to court for that. So the man went to court and the judge said, how could you? You should have known it was undervalued from the start. You can't go retroactively and do that. So they lost that round. They tried again and they lost again. So they've been attacking him. And he has, well, you know, the thing about it is, he, like the government, had a lot of money. And he goes into some black, give some black money, and they jump up and say this. So he was also doing. Some of those who took the PPP money and jump up supporting, they are taking his money and jump up and supporting too. So I'm smiling, but he will have an impact on government strongholds.
Yes.
A former president, Donald Ramotar, called me when I was in the States to say he doesn't understand why the Vice President Jack Dew is always calling this fella's name and making him more popular and all of that. So I said, well, you know, he said, the man is, and he admitted the man has made inroads in some communities. A pilot who flies our small planes into the interior told me about a situation in one Amerindian village where some of the Amerindians put up flags saying, vote PPP, that's the ruling party.
Yes.
And other Amerindians came out and tore down those flags and put up the Muhammad flag. So we know in the Amerindian communities, there will be an impact. The government is going to lose some votes. It is going to lose some votes in its stronghold too. And they are nervous, very, very nervous, trying all manner of things. They're calling for they're busy opening projects and talking about their achievements.
Yes.
And the projects are badly done. It's a waste of money. They build a road and 6 months later, it has to be reconstructed. So the opposition is having a field day pointing that out. But we expect the elections to be very, very close.
Okay. Okay.
And as a matter of fact, a lot of us expect the opposition to win. The opposition had its own setbacks because there were people in the opposition who left. And they went, some of them went on their own, and they're not going to do well because they're not carrying any votes with them. And some of them went over to the government side, and they too are not carrying votes with them because we've had that experience in past elections. They leave and they go, and at the end of the elections, the government just put them aside.
Yes.
So it's what it is, but the campaign has been going well. The opposition has had a remarkable showing in its stronghold. The government has been ferrying people into its own strongholds. And we're saying, well, there you go. So they're going to find out. One of the things they did was create what they call a 10-day worker. The workers work for 10 days a week. Now they are using these workers
to be part of the campaign. If the workers don't turn up, they don't get paid for that day. Now, that's highly irregular, but it's what it is. So we see that, and we say, we know a lot of these 10-day workers are going to go and they're going to vote where their heart is.
Yes.
And the government will be none the wiser.
All right.
So that's one. Those are some of the things happening here. So far, we haven't had any elections-related violence. The government tried to provoke some by tearing down opposition posters and all of that. And we leave them. We leave them. They can tear down what they want.
Okay. Yes. And so all those other issues, I can well imagine that they are on the back burner now. All the focus is on elections. That is the focus.
Yes, on the election.
Yes.
All right. And it's working. It's working, bro.
There are some reports of bribery that the government is bribing voters. How true is that?
Yes. That is what I was talking about. They're trying to bribe the voters. And we don't know. We know that they tried to get a lot of the Venezuelans on the list. And some of us know that the Venezuelans don't even vote in their own country. So we don't know what's going to happen here. For anybody with a Spanish-speaking, Spanish-sounding name, we will challenge.
Yes.
You know? So that is one of the issues, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And, oh boy.
So things are quiet.
So it's what have you... Well, the opposition parties have their regular meetings and what have you. The government hasn't had so many of its meetings. But so far, it's quiet. The people doing what they have to do, about their work when they have to.
Yes.
And they're saying to themselves, the only thing to do is people.
Okay. Well, Adam, let us see what is going to happen.
My brother.
Let us see what is going to happen on September 1. Thank you very much.
Okay, my brother, I'm here. Call at any time. I'm not going anywhere now.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay, my brother.
To senior Guyanese journalist, the Adam Harris. Yes. Telling us what is happening in Guyana. And as you are aware that their election will be on the 1st of September. Yes. And our election will be on the 3rd. So, will be one of the things that we at Rebel Radio are watching. We are watching to see if the trend where government changes, we are watching to see if so far if that is going to continue in Guyana and in Jamaica. Yes, we are looking for that. Yes, we have with us a senior, once a journalist, always a journalist. He's a member of the diaspora now, Mr. Vando Palmer with us. Hello, Vando. Vando, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you, Desmond.
Okay, sir. Well, I know you by now you would have heard that elections are due in September.
Hello?
Yes, are you hearing me? I said by now...
I'm hearing you now, Desmond.
I said by now you would have heard that our elections will be held on September 3rd.
Yes, I heard.
Yes. And I know that you are keeping abreast of the campaigning. So far, what?
Yes.
So far, what have you? What is your take on the campaign so far?
Well, campaigns, Desmond, over the years, right, has always been based on a lot of propaganda, and nothing is wrong with that, right? Because it's part of the cut and thrust of competitive politics, and because of the kind of parliamentary system that we practice in Jamaica, propaganda is always going to be part and parcel of the cut and thrust of that kind of politics. So I don't have a problem with that. I did watch the event at Halfway Tree last night, where the Prime Minister announced the date for the general election, and also the date for, I think, 4 by-elections for the local government system. It was a pretty, it was a well-organized event, if I may say so myself.
Yes.
Seemingly pretty well organized, pretty well orchestrated as well, and delivered. So it was pretty impressive. Now, a lot of promises were made last night, as was the case in previous announcement of a general election. As to the degree to which those promises will be kept is left to be seen. There is a tremendous amount of energy on either side of the political fence. I do notice that the base of the PNP has been energized. The base of the JLP has also been energized. And given the fact that the JLP has been in power for the last maybe 8 going 9 years, then they definitely would have more resources to draw on than what the PNP would have been able to draw on. But despite all of that, the PNP seemed to have found its footing, and the base has been energized. They are rallying behind their leader, and they sense that they are in with a very good chance of winning the election and getting back in government. A lot of things have been happening in terms of tearing down of posters and different political paraphernalias that are used as part and parcel of the trust of this kind of competitive affair. And that bothers me because there is no political ombudsman, so to speak. There's no political ombudsman, so to speak, for people to complain. And even if there was a political ombudsman to which they could go and lodge legitimate complaints, the political ombudsman seemed not to have a tremendous amount of power. In other words, there is no teeth available to her, to straighten people out when they breach the political codes. So that in and by itself is something that needs to be looked at, needs to be strengthened. The JLP has been very strategic in what they are doing. I noticed that the whole business of the school bus system has been brought into play, and it is one of the planks on which they are pinning their hopes of winning the election, to get those buses out and running, offering free rides and all of that. Frankly, I do not like the way in which the minister went about acquiring the buses, and it was done almost like an emergency, but they know all along that September morning is coming and that the children need to be able to ride to school and back home safely and comfortably. right? A rural school bus system is not something that is new to Jamaica, right? I grew up in St. Elizabeth, and from I was a little boy until I'm a big man now, right? Schools like St. Elizabeth Technical High School, Monroe, Hampton, Manchester High, the Carteret College, they all have a transport system for their students, and the school itself play a big part with those contract with those transport operators. My view is that if you want to have a good transport system and that it does not bleed the public purse too much, you should have brought those persons who are already providing that kind of service. You should have brought them to the table and see how best you could expand that by providing them with incentives to bring in buses, right, that they will add to their fleet and all of that. And then you could provide them a kind of subsidy, and once they know that they're going to be paid, they're getting this subsidy, right? So that, the cost to the parents and the students would have been significantly less. As it is right now, we have brought in those buses. They're old, and it doesn't matter what you want to tell me. They are gone past their economic age, and that is why they were retired in the United States of America, right, from their system. Right, they do not match up with our conditions. Some of them are way too long. I've seen one stuck somewhere in Prattville. Right, the drivers are going to be on the left hand side. The people are going to be coming out on the right hand side. Now they have to be spending money to retrofit them. They came without even tires that are good for our road conditions. Now we have to be buying new tires for them. We're going to have to now find a way, right, to have these buses parked at a particular place, and a lot of back-end costs are going to be added to that billion for their continued operations. And when they start to operate, you have to maintain them. All of that maintenance costs must now be added at the back end. You will be looking at monies that are going to be over $2.5 billion for that, in just getting them in and operating them in the system. I am thinking very seriously, looking back, we have the Encavas, they came to Jamaica, they never survived. We have the Tata buses, they came, they never survived. We had the Quarter Millions, they came, they never survived. But we have the Toyota Coaster buses that they came to Jamaica, and they have been running from that point until now. They're still going. You could have gone, if you're going to go that route, you could have gone for new Toyota Coaster buses that have been tried and proven in Jamaica, and they will be conditioned for the Jamaican roads. They're comfortable for the students and everybody else. That's where I would have gone. And of course, for the first 5 years, your maintenance cost is going to be significantly lower.
Yes.
To the extent that this thing was so rushed and done in this kind of a way, it leads me to wonder, because the government has done so many things that cause me and others not to be very trustful of the activities. So that's how I see it.
Yes. Well, let us see how all of that is going to work out. One thing I would say that we need a school bus system, right? But as you pointed out, the way how this system was introduced, it was introduced with the aim of winning votes. That is
exactly. It is just basically raw politics, raw politics. And I mean, it couldn't get any more raw than when I see the green jail lead vehicle ahead with the buses behind them, and passengers were hanging out from the windows in their green JLP outfit and the green flags flying. You can't get more raw politics than that. So even though the minister is saying, I personally don't believe him.
Yes. Well, Vanda, let us see.
It's raw politics.
Yes, let us see what is going to happen on September 3. Right, and
let us see.
That the acid test.
The people of Jamaica, they are not fools.
No.
Okay, and people anticipate and they expect that coming close to an election, the government is going to be doing a lot of things, right, in order to woo them and to win them over. Yeah?
Yes.
My position, and I've made it very clear on this program with you already before, that listen, you have enough time from the day you win the election to the time you're coming back to ask me to support you again for another period in government to deal with all the significant things that affect my life. My roads have been left to be totally destroyed and deteriorated, right? Motorists are at the whims and the fancies of the two-bedroom, the three-bedroom, two-bathroom potholes that they have to be dodging left, right, and center every single day as they travel, right? Ought not to be. And then close to the election, you're going to come and spend a whole lot of money, rush the thing, and the quality of the work that you're getting is very, very poor, right? Look at the highway from Harborview to St. Thomas. Look how many sections of that road has fallen apart already. Yes. Poor construction. I was in Jamaica for a week from the 1st of August to the 8th of August. I came back to Canada just Friday night, and I have seen the conditions of the roadways leading into the celebration of our independence and emancipation, and I was ashamed because I recall growing up, Desmond, in the country, this period of time throughout the year, right? People in especially people in rural Jamaica, they would look forward to these roadworks being given out by the Public Works Department to clean up the roadways in preparation for the celebration of our emancipation and independence celebrations, right? As well as providing a little change in the pocket of persons for back to school. And also a little change for them to spend for the festive season, right? And when I saw the conditions of the roadways, and I'm saying, no man, we are shameless. We are shameless. You can't be going into the celebration of two such significant events of the past that you want to preserve for generations to come, and that was a condition of the roadways. Oh, shame on you.
Well, Vando, we have to leave it there for today, but as I said, let us wait until September 3. Thank you very much for your time.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that was Vando Palmer there. And talking about elections and what is being done. Let us go for a break. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is a big fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep her shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Tools, hardware, supplies is turning up the heat.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes. And yesterday was a bloody day for members of this profession. Yes. 6 members of our profession. Yes. Working with Al Jazeera were murdered yesterday in Gaza by Israeli firepower. Yes. I have with me Mr. Harvey Panker, President of the Caribbean Media Workers, with me to talk about those atrocities. Mr. Panker, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Richards.
Yes, sir.
Listeners,
yes.
Your program.
Right. What is happening in Suriname today?
Not much. The new government is, they're coping with what they inherit from the previous ones. So not much happening as of today, but they have a lot of work to do. But one significant thing that happened is that the police chief was sacked by the president. It was immediately sacked after, drugs that was confiscated, drugs and money that was confiscated by the police just vanished in one of those police stations. So there was a great investigation, and the police chief couldn't give the proper answers. So after a few days after that, he was sacked by the president. So that's the major thing that happened since this new government is in power.
Okay, yes. Well, yesterday, sir, you would have seen that we lost 6 members of our profession. In a bloody attack in Gaza. What do you make?
Yes.
What do you make of it, sir?
Yeah, it is an ongoing tragedy there in the Middle East, and of course, as Association of Caribbean Media Workers, we strongly condemn the recent killings of the journalists and the cameramen in Gaza by the Israeli forces. We think that these attacks are deliberate and on media professionals, and this constitutes a grave violation of human rights, a blatant assault on press freedom, and an attempt to silence independent reporting from the ground. So, as we always do, we call upon the international community and all relevant bodies to conduct a full independent investigation and to hold those responsible fully accountable under the internet law. We know, as we always said, as I always said in your program, that journalists always are being targeted is unacceptable under any circumstances, and violates the protections afforded to them under the Geneva Convention. So ACM stands in unwavering solidarity with the journalists in Gaza and around the world, reaffirming our commitment to defending the freedom, safety, and dignity of those who risk their lives to report the truth.
Right. Yes, sir.
So, unacceptable. So, we have to depend on those who are also protecting the truth to protect us. Because we can't say that we will stop report. We can't say that we will stop doing our work. So the only thing we can do is call upon all parties to help protect those who are trying their best to inform all of us around the world.
Yes, certainly, sir.
With the truth.
Yes, certainly. And we, as you said, we totally reject the killing of media workers. The Israelis claim.
Yeah.
I saw where the Israelis have put out a statement. They are saying that one member of the crew that was killed was a militant for Hamas, but they have not provided any evidence to support that claim.
Yes, but that claim was waved away by Al Jazeera, where the journalist was working for. Yes. So they say these claims are false.
Yes.
And untrue. Yes. So yeah, I think Israel were looking for a scapegoat, but killing journalists and then blaming it on whether they were working for Hamas or not. I don't think journalists, if they are truthful journalists, they won't certainly put themselves into doing those kind of jobs for whether it's the army, the legit army, or other groups. Our role in this is to bring the truth, bring the stories, tell the stories of the people on the ground. Yes. And I think as Israel is keep going, they want to do another invasion in Gaza. So they know what they're doing. But I am glad that, at the other hand, in Israel, those there are also protesting for the plans of the Israeli government to do the invasion in Gaza.
Right.
So I'm glad that also the own Israeli people are rejecting what their government is doing.
Yes. We also observed that the independent media is banned. The Israelis have banned journalists from working in Gaza.
Yeah, that's a shameless act of the Israelis. But I think we need to, other journalists and media workers around the world has to keep telling the stories. We can't be tired we can't stop and forget them. Mm-hmm. We can remember them by keep telling their stories, keep telling the world what is happening, keep telling the world the great injustice that is done against the truth. Yes. So, and I think we as people has to stop this. We as people can only stop this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
We can't sit aside and watch.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we have to take action.
Yes, sir. Yes. And, I'm just thinking of, what, if any, action or any plans that the Caribbean media workers might have to protest the killing of our colleagues in Gaza. Are you thinking of anything, sir?
No. We are partnered with other international organizations that are doing this work. So we will, together with
IFEX is one of them. We have the Global Media GFMT, and those two organizations that we are partners with. Together, there will be a statement, I think, by tomorrow, where we as ACM also will put our signing. We will sign it also, and together as global forces will condemn this heinous act, and also call upon governments around the world to help protect journalists.
Yes, sir. Definitely. And Mr. Panka, I did not talk to you over the loss of one of our colleagues. I'm talking about Ricky Singh. You know, he died and he has been buried already, but I know you were aware of his passing.
Yeah, I think we also talked about Ricky Singh already.
Yeah, did we?
To get another veteran journalist of Trinidad, I think, Hanuman Singh.
Okay, yeah.
And
okay.
We with Ricky Singh, we lost one of Caribbean most, let's say, a great journalist, a great humanitarian, and I think we owe it to him that we keep doing the work as good as he was trying to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. You know, Mr. Panka, one of the things that we observe that, you know, over the years, we observe that there have been serious attacks against journalists globally. And this is something that we have to condemn, because
we definitely,
yes, we even in war, we are not supposed to be targeted, and therefore we have to be very resolute in our condemnation of these attacks against members of the Fourth Estate. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Well,
so we stand in solidarity with all the journalists in all countries that are targeted, whether it's by armed forces, whether it's by gangs, whether it's by other people that are something against a journalist. But we need to stand up as journalists. And the only way we can do that, we can take up arms, but I think we have to keep telling the truth. And as we say it always, as it stands in the Bible, the truth shall set us free. I hope someday we will come to our senses that this needless violence against our own kind is something that we have to stop.
Yes.
That has to stop.
Yes, of course, certainly.
We have to do it.
Yes. Well, as I said, let us keep up our vigilance, you know, and condemn attacks against our colleagues. So thank you very much.
Keep telling them.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Panka.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Yes, sir. It was Mr. Harvey Panka, President of the Caribbean Media Workers Association there. And we had an exchange about that killing there, massacre of our colleague in Gaza. Yes, and this is something that we must condemn totally. We also take note of the decision by the Israelis to take over Gaza. that is a plan that we have seen from the Israelis. Now, I know that a number of countries, including the United Nations, have condemned this action. And we at Rebel Radio, we are also against this act. The atrocities continue in Palestine, in Gaza, where men, women, and children are being killed. But as I said, we are totally against this decision by the Israelis to take over Gaza. This is capture, and we are opposed to it, total opposed to it. So, as I said, we are watching the situation over there. Yes, and we continue to lament the reactions from the Caribbean to what is happening in Gaza. Yes, there is virtual silence. Yes, silence from Caribbean media and the Caribbean governments. Yes, we are still appealing to our government and to the governments in the Caribbean to take stronger action against the action of the Israelis. And we are urging our government, our governments, to sever diplomatic and trade ties with the Israeli government. Yes, we cannot continue to have relationships with a government that is killing human beings in broad daylight. Yes, we must do something about this. Yeah. Last week I was looking at another report, a report which says that Jamaica among countries with the lowest fertility rates. Yes. Report is saying Jamaica is now one of the lowest fertility rates, has one of the lowest fertility rates in the world, according to the United Nations Population Fund 2025 State of World Population Report. Yes, we are among the lowest globally. Yes. The report says Jamaican women are now having an average of 1.3 children in their lifetime. That's much lower than the 2.1 children needed to keep the population stable. Only 5 countries have lower fertility rates than Jamaica: South Korea, Singapore, San Marino, China, and Malta. Jamaica shares the same rate as Japan, Italy, Spain, Cyprus, and Bosnia. Yes. Well, some of us are old enough to remember when we had a high fertility rate. As a matter of fact, some of us are old enough to remember that campaign that was launched. Yes, 2 is too many. And that campaign has succeeded, because here we are now that we are talking about, we are now in a position where we are among the lowest in the world. No, this is not good for Jamaica, you know. No, because what it means that in a few years, the majority of Jamaicans will be aging people. In other words, we will have an aging population. No, that is not good for the country. We want young people to replace old people. We must maintain that. We must not find ourselves in a position where the majority of our population are old people. Yes. We are not saying that the government must force people to have children, right? But we think they should take some action, yes, to make it easier for people to, increase their families. So therefore, you have to provide better health care, housing, and support for parents to take care of their children. That is something that has to be done. And the government must take some action to ensure that this is done. And the time is now. Let us not wait until it is too late. As we must improve our fertility rates. You will remember that the police federation, was they indicated that they were having some issues with the Ministry of Finance salary. Yes. Well, over the weekend, the Ministry of Finance announced that they were planning a meeting with the Federation, and that is going to be held tomorrow. So let us see what is going to happen there, if those salary issues are going to be resolved. We also know that the civil servants, they are also upset with the response from the government to their salary package. And one other meeting is due between the government and the Joint Confederation of Trade Unions. I think it's the 25th, or yes, thereabout. So let us see what is going to happen. All right, coming up next is Workers' Time. Let us take a break.
It's the Everybody Say sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is what built fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
shine for the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends, light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end. Without you holding my hand, I thought a wall would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even more without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus, can't even walk without you holding my hand. Mountains too high and the valleys too wide. On my knees, I learned to stay. That I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Help me, Jesus. I can't. I thank God I made Jesus. I'm born and now, from now on this day, I'm surely gonna fall. If I don't trust it, I'd be less than a man. 'Cause I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountains too high and the valleys too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. All you have done for me right now. You've been so good to me. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. I can't even walk right now, I just got me a deal with there. So what I want to friend George? Why Richie Steven? When I'm there, I give the almighty crazy. And the best thing that, cause when I remember just where I am coming from to where I'm standing, if that fell to my knees in praise your name, you Lord, every step of the way. Oh, Father, you know I love you.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. And you know, today is Monday. And at this time, you know, it's time for us to go to the workplace. This is workers' time. And this is where we spend time looking at what is happening at the workplace. Well, this evening we are going to talk about, you know, elections. What likely impact of elections on the workers. We know that they are involved now with wage talks with the government. And we have with us the senior trade unionist, one who has been around for over 3 decades. Is the president of UK, so I'm talking about Mr. Vincent Morrison. Mr. Morrison, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
And good evening to your listeners.
Yes. You have been around long enough. You have seen many elections. And what I would like you to, or us to talk about this evening is, you know, what do you think? Are there any, the impact of the elections on the work, at the workplace? What do you think about that? And also, what role, if any, should the unions be playing in elections?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, the election date has been announced. September 3rd.
Yes.
Nomination is on the 18th.
Yes, next week, Monday.
I am a little bit disappointed that the date could have been announced much earlier to prevent the schools. Normally, school starts on early September.
Yeah, I think it's the 6th.
Yeah, but I think the school will have to put away a week.
Yeah.
Going to lose about a week. And I'm not going to make a whole thing about this. But, you know, education is so important that, you know, we should not lose a week. We should not lose a day.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
So there are a number of things that I believe that the unions should play a strong, important, and consistent role in. For example, there's what is called the social wage. The issue of health and wellness, the whole issue of medical care, you know, provisions for the elderly, etc., etc. These are issues that could, in my view, along with the economy, along with education and training, these these issues should be uppermost in the policy or the position of the trade union movement.
Yes.
And what I would want to say, the government or the party which provides the best policy or which gave the union the best support. It is my view that the worker should have an interest in those organizations.
Yes.
I say that to say this, that over the years, when you look on policies affecting the working class in Jamaica, the People's National Party has been at the forefront and leadership in terms of not only providing legislative provision, such as the Labor Code, such as the LRIDA, that's the Labor Relations and Industrial Dispute Act. It sets up organizations like the tribunal. The tribunal is celebrating 50 years. July the 25th was their 50th year.
Yes.
And the tribunal has been playing a tremendous role in industrial relations, peace, harmony, and fairness. So, I am saying to you and your listeners that the People's National Party gets my nod as the organization at the forefront of protecting providing protection, legislative protection for workers across the country.
Yes.
I don't have to go through all the benefits. There's the national minimum wage, which was established by the People's National Party under the leadership of Michael Manley in the 1970s.
Yes.
I listened to the Prime Minister last night, and the issue of the FinSoc, not going away at all.
No.
Was raised by the Prime Minister. Let me just say that FinSoc didn't create the problem. The Financial Sector Adjustment Commission was set up to solve the problem that was created by the bankers, the merchant bankers, insurance companies, and those businesses that manage or handle its business in a bad way.
Yes.
It is interesting to note that $140 billion Jamaican dollars was used up taxpayers' money to save the financial sector. I have said it over and over, and nobody has contradicted me. But let me say that if FinSoc wasn't established by the party administration, a lot of people would be in far more serious problems. The little money the poor man had in the bank, the pension scheme that the workers had at Life of Jamaica, no Sagacor, all of that would have been gone. The medical scheme. So So, Prinsock came in as the savior. And I noticed that we still can't get a report. The Prinsock report.
Yes.
It just cost another 150 million. Yeah? We just can't get it and I think there's a reason why. Because the report was commissioned to make the People's National Party, PJ Patterson, Omar Davis look bad. But my information is that rather than causing them to look bad, other people, especially some who borrowed $20 million US, and when the gentleman was asked about it, he said he didn't remember that he had borrowed it. I believe that the bad management of the financial sector was deliberately done to embarrass the government of the day. And yes, I regret, but a number of Jamaicans lost money, some Jamaicans lost business. But the economic success that we can boast about today, if FinTech was not introduced, we wouldn't be talking about these successes today. The whole economy would have blown away.
Okay. No.
Education. The trade union movement support good sound policy that will provide the best education system for our children. We must build schools. I don't think enough schools have been built. You cannot teach without classroom. And since I'm on the question of classroom, 40, 35, 40 students in a classroom don't make sense. The average, I don't think any classroom in Jamaica should be more than 18 to 20 students.
Okay.
And if we can't go to that average, then we're going to have problems.
Yes.
We have to build more schools.
Yeah. Oh,
we have to pay our teachers better.
Yes.
Our teachers, too much complaints. There's too much from our teachers. There's too much migration of our teachers. And I would want to believe that those are areas that needs improvement.
I want to ask you a question. You know, the trade union movement is the grandfather of the political movement in the Caribbean. Now, you will recall that there has been suggestions that the political movement or the trade union movement must divorce itself from the political movement. The Jamaica Labour Party was founded by the founder of the BITU. The People's National Party was founded by the founder of the NW. Now, the question is, do you think the union movement should be playing a more direct role, closer role in the political movement in Jamaica?
And the answer to that is simply yes. If you're talking about workers, you can't build an economy without workers. If you get all the money that is in Fort Knox to invest, if you don't have workers, it's meaningless. You don't have no use. So, since the trade unions represent the workers and they're there to protect the interest and the well-being of the workers, whether it's the political movement, whether it's the whatever movement you want to call it, I don't see a problem with the alignment and the association. I know that the trade union movement produced two of the most brilliant leaders in this country. It produced Bustamante, it produced Hugh Shearer, it produced Michael Manley, and as many other leaders in government. So, there's nothing wrong with the connection.
Yes.
What is wrong is when there's no connection. The disconnection is what's wrong.
Yes.
That is where the problem is. And I would want to say that the workers of this country, because of the association between the union and the political parties, workers have benefits. Remember? Yeah.
But as you said, there seems to be there's a disconnection now, or there's a gap.
I don't think the connection is as firm and tight as it was one time. When I joined the National Workers Union in 1969, we were told that Norman Manley didn't go to a cabinet meeting on a Monday morning without first consulting Dr. Kelly when he was premier.
Yes.
Right? When he was a premier. We were told, well, I know that Michael Manley had open communication. I know that P.J. Patterson had open communication. Portia Simpson came out of the trade union movement. He was an officer of the TUC. I think the problem is the present Prime Minister has no connection to the trade union movement. And I think that is one of the reasons why, for example, public sector workers are having some certain challenges now. They offer 0%. A 4-year contract of 7%. Huh?
Yeah.
0% for the first year.
Yes.
Right? I know of a fact that the trade union movement has been at the training ground for not only prime ministers, governor general. Florida's Glasspool was the first general secretary of the People's National Party.
Yes.
Yeah.
But one of the things
and he became governor general.
Yes. One of the things that I understand why the government has offered 2% is because of the fact that the offer that was made was given to civil servants under the last budget and the last negotiation. In other words, what I am saying, is it a fact that the civil servants, because of the size of the adjustment that they got, that is the reason why the government is offering 2.5%?
Yeah, you have to be careful when you talk about the civil service.
Yeah.
Because the civil service has many parts.
Yes.
Right? For example, the adjustment, the wage adjustment or the wage increase, the civil servants was 20% over 3 years. 10% in the first year, 5 in the second, and 5 in the third.
Yes.
Who gets the bulk of those increases in excess of 20% was the senior most persons, like the permanent secretary. And you'll hear that the 230% that was given to the ministers and the parliamentarians and the councillors, right? It's only because the permanent secretary got hefty increase.
Yes.
And you know the minister is, I think, $1 more than the civil service,
yes.
Or the permanent secretary.
Permanent secretary, yeah.
Yes. So when you talk about the civil service, for example, the workers who clean the schools, the workers who clean the hospitals, at 20% them get. Them didn't get 230%. And I think it was wrong for the government to have taken 230% for themselves and gave the other workers 20% and now coming to talk about 0%.
Yes.
And I hope the workers of Jamaica will understand that. And I hope they will do what they have to do on the 3rd of September.
Yes.
Because that is grossly unfair. It never happened. It never happened.
Yes.
And again, I don't think a Hushir would have done that. I don't think a Michael Manley would have done that. In fact, to ask me, I don't think a Eddie Seaga would have done that. Yeah. Yeah. And you have to remember, the workers in the civil service, they have been checking wage freeze, wage guidelines, very low wage adjustment over the years. It is the workers in the civil service who made the sacrifice to turn around the economy.
Yes.
So that people can go on political platform and ragadoo and boast and beat them chest. And what's the thanks they get for that?
Well, that is something that the unions should educate the workers about.
Yes. Yes, but look man, in this era of technology, where everybody have a television and a smartphone, everybody know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let us see what is going to happen, because I know that I saw where the government has decided.
I listened to the Prime Minister yesterday, and he never said one word about the workers. Not one word was said about anything to improve the lot of the working class people of the country.
Yes.
In spite of the buoyancy of the economy, the Prime Minister spoke for all. and nothing was said about any help to the workers. Huh? Right? So it tells you the thinking of the government, anti-worker.
Well, let us see what is going to happen. Just we are going to take a break, right?
Sure.
Just hold it there for me. This is Rebel Radio. We're on Workers' Time. Let's go for a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JBS Jamaica. Together we shine.
shine for the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends, light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Workers' Time, and we are talking to trade unionist Vincent Morrison. Yes, so Mr. Morrison, we are saying that the unions should just use the opportunity to educate the workers about what is happening. Or how they should treat the decisions that they should make on September 3rd. But the question is that why do you think that the union movement has drifted away from the political movement?
Well, I think the big factor is that, or the big reason, the main reason is that For example, in the 60s, 70s, you had large numbers of workers, for example, in manufacturing, in agriculture. Take the sugar industry. Huh? At one time, the sugar industry was employing over 70,000 workers.
Yes.
So, it's in the sugar belt were influenced by the unions that had a say in membership in those areas.
Yes.
That is not the case again. You don't have no sugar industry. That sugar industry was given to the Chinese. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It was given to the government, the JLP government, under Bruce Golding. Got fed up. Eh? And just like what they did to Jamaica, they just tell China to take it. Now, one very interesting thing, development, was that I heard that some investors wanted to take back the Monimos sugar factory, the second largest sugar factory in Jamaica, to go back into the production of sugar cane and sugar. And the Chinese, who bought all three factories from Monimos Bernalot with 50 odd acres of land around the factory, they refused. So the investors, I understand, have decided to grow greenfield, purchase land somewhere in the Clarendon area to get back into sugar and to build a factory, a sugar factory, so they can plant cane and get back into sugar.
Yeah, new factory is supposed to be open down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to answer your question, the influence that the working class had and the electorate are the result of the election. It's not as dynamic as it was 50 odd years ago.
Yes.
And this is why the parties recognizing this are paying less and less attention.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying that any party that don't pay attention to the working class is doing this at their own peril.
Yeah. And you leave out the bauxite industry. The bauxite industry was a crucial industry too.
Very crucial industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Bauxite and aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
The big fight between the BIQ and the NW at Alpar,
yes,
Lamarco, was to win the workers' vote. Huh?
Yes, of course.
You know? So, that has changed, the landscape has changed. And suffice it to say that the workers are being paid less attention.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, what approach you think the unions should take in order to reignite the relationships with the political parties?
Well, I think the outcome of this election will have a significant effect on the trade union one way or the other. I think if the Jamaica Labour Party win the election, the unions will come under more pressure. It is quite apparent that the groups in the private sector are lining up behind the JLP because they have had issues with some of the protectionary benefits that the workers have in this country. They have problem with the Labor Relations and Industrial Dispute Act, especially the Labor Code, which places a lot of emphasis on procedure. In other words, they want to go back to the days when you can call somebody and ask for the file and look on the file and you can just say, well, this man shouldn't be working here. It's fine. They don't believe that there should be procedure which gives the right to workers to defend themselves.
Yes.
Right? They believe that the termination of employment and redundancy payments act to go. Right? The redundancy payment act. They want to set up a slush fund to give the workers a little money when they decide to fire him as a grounds of redundancy. So I wouldn't be surprised if the private sector goes full blast behind the Labour Party. The People's National Party, in my view, because of its history, because of its former leadership, because of its tradition, will give a better listening ear to the working class. So I would say to the working class, it's in their interest to support those who will support them in the short run and in the long run.
Okay. But you still have not answered my question. I'm asking what approach you think the union movement should take in order to, reignite the relationship with the political parties.
Well, the first thing the union movement have to do is look internally and to see their areas of shortcoming. They'll have to. There are some unions who operate by virtue of a name. There is no unity across the board.
Yes.
Right? The Confederation. I don't know how to describe it. You're a confederation. Right? I think if we can get the union movement organized, and you talk about strategy, organized. Because by organizing themselves into a strong body called a Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, they'll be able to go there and organize workers in the BPO section, in the security guard section, in the hotel section, in the construction sector. And if that is done, you could be increasing your membership by 60,000 workers. Yes. And if you can increase, you can organize and increase your membership by another 60,000 workers. Then the politician and the political party must listen to you. There's no question.
Yes.
So, to answer your question, organization.
Yes.
Is the root.
So, guys, you are suggesting that the union movement should unite and organize.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 That is the only way you're going to get the respect from the employers. That is the only way you get the respect from the politicians. And that is how you're going to get the respect from the workers themselves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, let us see what is going to happen, because it is very important. What we are discussing here is very important, and is something that is required throughout the Caribbean, around the Caribbean.
All over the Caribbean.
Yes. Something that is required.
Yeah.
And at Rebel Radio, we have been trying to get the movement, the union movement, going in that direction.
Yes.
We are still trying.
Well, man, you had a very strong Caribbean Congress of Labour.
Yes.
One time.
Yes.
Very strong Caribbean Congress of Labour.
Well, we want that organization to regain its strength.
Yeah.
That it's something that we would want.
Yeah.
Because what I think is important, that the labor movement must have its seat at the top table with the policymakers, so that they can address the issues facing the workers across the board. When when policies are being made, the workers must be considered.
That is correct.
Yes. Do you have any word on the security guards? Oh, that matter is before the court, right? When is the next court date?
19th of next month.
19th of September.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
But I'm pleased to say that we have settled cement company.
Yes.
I think we got a very good agreement at cement company. We have settled bauxite and aluminum industry.
Yes.
We are negotiating with a company called Hawkeye Electronic Security Limited. And some other groups.
Yes. And you have settled with the British Embassy?
No, we are negotiating with them now. They are Hawkeye, that's the big workers there. We virtually tackle all the fringe benefits there. Where we're having some challenges now is with the wages. What they had was a system where they are a captain, whether they are a lieutenant, whether they are a sergeant, whether they are private, everybody get the same pay. And we feel that was the wrong approach. You cannot have supervisors getting the same pay as the person who them supervise. So that is one of the areas that we're having some challenges.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yes. So
But in the friction between these negotiations, we have been between the Ministry of Labour and the tribunal taking a lot of dismissals, a lot of complaints, especially from a group of workers that you could call non-unionized. You know, the law was amended under the P.J. Patterson government to define the worker. And having defined the worker, non-unionized workers, you don't have to be a union to have your issues. If you're terminated, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing the non-unionized workers can do, you can do for the you can negotiate wages for the non-unionized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they can take their matter to the Industrial Disputes Tribunal.
Yeah, so somebody like you who don't join a union, if Rebel Radio fire today, you can come to me and I will take the case to the tribunal.
Mm-hmm.
Not pro bono, you have to pay.
Yeah, yes, I understand that.
It's work. Huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let us hope that, what we want the workers, labor and capital must have a cordial relationship. If we are to...
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I was negotiating a contract some time ago, and they brought in a lawyer, and after 16, 17 meetings, I got a call from one of the chief officials to say he wants to have a talk with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat down, and in one meeting, lasting for about an hour and a half, we were able to settle the agreement.
Yes.
After being a lawyer, 16, 17 meetings. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, because I'm sure that capital, the owners, the players, the captains of capital, I'm sure that they realize the importance of labor.
Exactly. What is one of the big problems in industrial relations in Jamaica is that we have become too legalistic. The employers, some of them are very incompetent. And every little issue, them run to Duke Street. Huh?
Yeah.
And normally when you run to Duke Street, it becomes harder.
Okay.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have to, as I said, we have to continue to urge the union movement to unite and organize, and also to...
One of the things I will push it for is to get the Jamaica information to assist the union with its outreach program, its communication, its education program.
Yes.
Yes, I think the unions should be given time and the drive to talk to workers.
Yes.
If we're talking about production and productivity, if you're talking about peaceful industrial relations coexistence,
yes,
I see no reason why the union shouldn't be given time to explain how the unions operate, to explain aspects of the law affecting workers, to explain overall what is good industrial relations from bad industrial relations practice. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's one of the things I'll be pushing for. Yeah.
Well,
if I had to say, I would say to the people of the National Party, since the government has been making a lot of promises and this and that, there are two promises that I would do. First, the tax and pension. I would tell the country that I will remove it. Secondly, the taxes that you pay and redundancy payments, I will remove that.
Okay.
In fact, you go into the Confederation, the PNP press conference tomorrow.
You mean for their manifesto launch?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope to go.
Yes, I think I will go, because I'm going to raise those issues. I'm going to raise those issues of concern to the world.
Yes.
The fixed-term contract. Fixed-term contract.
Yes, yes.
Taxes and pension. Taxes and redundancy. Those should be removed.
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah?
Well, as you said, talk to them and see what...
We should examine also the taxes on overtime. Huh? If we are going to direct taxation, income tax, we should look at income tax vis-a-vis, what do you call it on? When you buy things at a shop and you pay them.
GCT.
Consumption tax. GCT. GCT. If you're going GCT way, then these are taxes that you need to remove, because in any case, if the worker has more money to spend, you get it back to GCT.
Yes.
Huh? Huh? But what you will do in the short and long term, it will assist production and productivity.
Okay.
Because people have more money to spend to buy goods and services.
Yes.
And if that is so, that is the flip that the economy needs.
Right. Okay, we have to end it for today, but as we say, we have to continue to examine these issues, because we have to get them right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you for talking me.
Okay. All right. That was Mr. Vincent Morrison, as President of UK's a senior trade unionist. Yeah. And we were talking about the relationship between the trade unions and the government. Yes. And we have to, the question is, is it time for the unions to strengthen, re-engage the political parties, in a relationship, because of the fact that historically those entities have had such a close relationship. Those are issues we are talking about on Rebel Radio, and we are talking to the Caribbean trade unions about these issues. All right, let's go for a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is what built fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep her shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS, and make the shine never end.
Need to open the video that is being streamed live. Look for the chat box on the side or bottom of the video player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside the chat box and use your keyboard to type out what you want to say. You can type words, use emojis, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button. Your comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live.
Good day. Good day. This is podcast number 177, the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. Allow me to start by expressing my deep sorrow and disgust over the attack on a policeman and members of his family that left his spouse dead and the policeman and his 5-year-old son in hospital. Let's pray that the lives of the policeman and his son will be saved following this cowardly attack in St. James yesterday. From reactions on social media, the nation is praying for the policeman. So, in a few hours at most, frankly speaking, we'll all know the date for the next general election. The Prime Minister has announced the date at a rally in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. So, frankly speaking, the guessing will soon be over. Then all focus will be on the big day. And the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast, you can be rest assured, will shine as much light on it as we can over the next few weeks to the elections themselves. But frankly speaking, up to the day and beyond, there are issues that Jamaicans face and will continue to face, including health. We invite your comments on the space provided on the channel as indicated at the top of the podcast. We value your feedback and involvement in the program. And we are thankful that you have joined us. Last week, Wednesday, on Independence Day, TVJ carried a story about a machine that could save the lives of people who had got a stroke. If. But here's the eyebrow raising part. There's only one such machine in Jamaica, and it's at the University Hospital of the West Indies. And there's only one trained doctor to operate it. No, that's not the only machine or medical personnel available in Jamaica for strokes. Dr. Alveston Bailey, our guest today, will put it all in context for us. As usual, before that, we have comments from regular panelist Winnie Anderson Brown, who has a few things to say on life certificates, and Desmond Richards, who is focused on the elections. But first, Dr. Alveston Bailey. He has loads of titles. He's a well-researched general practitioner with a practice in Falmouth. He has headed several boards and all of that. But to the point today, we welcome Dr. Bailey. Dr. Bailey, please explain to us, as we welcome you, the purpose of the machine we are speaking about and why it's a big deal.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. McKnight. It really is a pleasure to join you and to add some clarity to the conversation. I thought that I would begin the discussion by just providing the listeners with some information with respect to the...
You're a little bit low, I think. I don't know if you could up the volume a little bit. You're a little bit low, Dr. Bailey.
Okay.
But we're hearing you.
Okay.
We're hearing you.
Right. I'll project my voice somewhat. All right.
Okay.
So the first thing I'd like to share with you is what is a stroke, because that we need to clarify what is a stroke. A stroke really means being struck down, and it's an ancient term going back to Hippocrates. And what it means is that there's a sudden loss of blood flow to the brain, resulting in damage or death to the brain tissue. Now, there are one of the most important concerns I've had with respect to the discussion is what should be our focus? Should our focus be to treat strokes, or should we be mainly concerned about preventing them? Because the good news is that most strokes are highly preventable. That's the good news. And so
most strokes are highly preventable.
Okay. And therefore, the take-home point we're going to make from this discussion is that most strokes are preventable, but some are not. Now, why do I say that? Let us look at those that are not preventable. You get strokes oftentimes because of narrowing of blood vessels due to old age, over which we have no control. And you get stroke oftentimes because you have the wrong gender, like being a male. So males have more atherosclerosis and narrowing of blood vessels than women. So those are some key factors over which you have no control, your age and your sex. However, when you look at the real causes of strokes, most of them are eminently preventable, and they're called lifestyle diseases, like high blood pressure. High blood pressure affects 33% of all Jamaicans, eminently preventable and treatable. Diabetes affects 12% of all Jamaicans, extremely treatable. Smoking, 10% of Jamaicans smoke. That is easy to stop. High cholesterol, which is excessive fat in your bloodstream, affects a whopping 25% of all Jamaicans. We just eat too much fat and too much junk food. Obesity, and this is a matter of major concerns for me, in that the latest survey shows that 55% of all Jamaicans are overweight. and 34% are obese. That is worrisome. And then alcohol consumption, we like to take a drink from time to time, also predisposes you to stroke. So high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, smoking, high cholesterol, and obesity are the primary causes of strokes. And if we control those, very few Jamaicans will get strokes. Now, what is of interest then is how bad is the prevalence of stroke with respect to life expectancy. And 14% of total deaths in Jamaica are caused by stroke. What is of interest and very worrisome with respect to the 5 most common cause of death in Jamaica are violence, and you mentioned the issue with the policeman. In men, stroke in men is the second commonest cause of death. I want to repeat that. Strokes in Jamaican men is the second commonest cause of death. And the most common cause of death in Jamaica, and we are unique among many countries around the world, is violence and injuries. With respect to women...
So if you take out the violence and injuries, it really is stroke.
Right.
Yeah.
Really stroke. And with respect to women, the most common cause of death in women is sugar or diabetes. And the second commonest cause of death in women is stroke. So therefore, stroke is obviously a major cause of premature death in Jamaican men and women. Now, what are the 2 types of stroke? There are 2 types really. There's one in which there's bleeding in the brain due to rupture of the blood vessel, and that's called hemorrhagic stroke. The other type, which is due to narrowing of the blood vessel and blockage, which is caused by hypertension, diabetes, smoking, obesity, and cholesterol, is called ischemic stroke, in which the blood vessel becomes blocked. And that affects 85% of persons with stroke. Now, with respect to the machine that has been established, and I must extend congratulations to UA and the government of Jamaica for acquiring this machine, because it's a valiant attempt to prevent death from strokes. So let's presume that you did all that.
Well, Doc, let me just jump in here, just because you have set out very beautifully the situation with stroke. But given its high profile, or given its high incidence, I was just thinking straight away that the medical system ought to be set up to be able to prevent strokes, and where strokes occur, to be able to deal with them and prevent fatalities from them. In other words, given what we know, we should be moving hard to prevent the strokes through education, but have the facilities fairly well distributed across the country to prevent deaths from stroke.
All right.
Is that flawed, or is that flawed?
No, absolutely. I've known you long enough, Franklin. Your thought processes are quite erudite. Definitely not flawed. In fact, the question I think that's going through your mind, if despite what causes you to get a stroke, you do get a stroke, can death be prevented with this particular machine? And the answer is yes. It has been shown to be about 80 to 85% effective in preventing death. And that's a significant data, because if you get a stroke and it is dealt with, and I'll discuss that just now, how it should be dealt with, then yes, it can prevent death. So you're preempting my discussion, because if I was to respond to you just now then, yes, we should have one of these machines in every region.
Absolutely.
All the region should have one of these machines to prevent death from strokes, and the data shows that it is around 80 to 85% effective if a stroke unit is set up and persons get to that particular facility fast. Now, Therefore,
Doctor, may I just elaborate on that, please? If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Dr. Alverson Bailey, and he's talking to us about strokes. And Dr. Bailey, one of the things that was said in the interview with the specialist was that you have to get, after the stroke, you need to get to the hospital, University Hospital, within 4 hours for them to be able to help you. And he pointed out that if you're in Spanish Town, yes, you can get to University Hospital. And if you're in St. Anne and so on, you might be able to get. But he made a point that, and he wasn't making a stress on it or being flippant about it, but if you're in Westmoreland, that might be a little different case. So, is this a 4-hour, is that there sort of a 4-hour window? And what happens in other cases where people have a stroke?
All right. The key thing for us to bear in mind is adage we have in medicine, which says time is brain. And I like that adage because it says time is critical. For strokes caused by blood clots to be corrected, you need to get to the facility within 3 to 4.5 hours. After 6 hours, you have missed opportunity for correction of the impaired blood supply that has occurred. Therefore, time is critical and time is brain. Therefore, to have the facility in Kingston is absolutely wonderful. But it means that those persons who are outside of the time zone that it will take to reach Kingston would not really be able to benefit from this. So unless facilities are set up to airlift persons rapidly from Western Jamaica and Southern Jamaica to university, within that time zone, it would be a bit too late for them to benefit from the machine. But it's a step in the right direction. And I presume that this is the beginning of equipping all the regions with this machine. Now, I actually wanted to respond to the question of time, because in many cases, why time becomes an issue, it's because the patients do not recognize that they're having a stroke. And by the time they arrive at the hospital, sometimes a day had passed or 2 days, and by then it's too late. And so part of the rationale for this discussion, I think, is to remind persons that there are some warning signs of an impending stroke, and they must respond to the signs urgently and get help quickly. And the acronym that they use for impending stroke is fairly easy to remember, and it is FAST. F-A-S-T. F means your face begins to droop. Like your face will get twisted to one side, or you have an uneven smile. That is F. A is your arm become weak and you cannot lift your arm above your head. S, your speech become difficult or slurred, and so it means that it's time to seek help. So it's F-A-S-T, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to act. You might observe weakness in the face, arm, or leg, or you might have visual problems or dizziness, or you might have a severe headache, which you've never had before. And so it means that time is ticking. So once this occurs, it is time zero. And you have...
So all of those things indicate to you that you have had a stroke, that person has had a stroke.
No, it's a warning that a stroke is coming your way. So it's called a transient ischemic attack, which means there's a reduction of blood supply to the brain and you need help right away. If you do not respond, you are going to end up along the continuum and have a stroke in evolution, which means that the symptoms will get worse. But you're not yet paralyzed. And then you end up with a complete stroke where you become completely paralyzed. So the initial warning signs is called a transient ischemic attack, which tells you that there's a decrease of blood supply to the brain, and the cause must be determined urgently, and you need help.
And Dr. Bailey, what happens to you now? What happens? What sort of window do you have in that case? Because those would be the normal thing. Most people would not be going to the university hospital. What happens from that stage? You go to your doctor as to you, or you go to a hospital. What would happen when you are responding to those FAST?
Okay, all right. The advice I want to give to patients is you must, always tell people that there are 3 persons whose phone number you must always have on your phone. 1 is your doctor, 2 is your lawyer, and 3 is your banker. I'm not too sure who is more important than the other, but everyone listening must have their doctor's phone number, because you need to call and tell him quickly what is happening and let him give you some advice. So if you notice the facial drooping, the arm weakness, the speech difficulty, call your doctor right away, and he will advise you as to what to do. Because even though the machine is available, there are some important tests that must be done in order to determine the severity of the stroke, and also to determine the possibility of you making good use of the machine, because the machine cannot be used for all strokes. And that's an important point that I want to emphasize. It's only used in carefully selected persons. So it is not a panacea for everyone, because it depends on the severity of the stroke, and it depends on the location of the stroke, and it also depends on your state of health. So the doctor will actually advise you what is the best approach to adopt, because in order for you to benefit from this stroke, from this machine, which will remove the clot, a number of tests have to be done before to determine your suitability.
I'm not interrupting. I don't want to focus so much on this machine because its availability, as you have said, and as they said, his point is going to be limited to people within that zone. And yes. Welcome, Desmond. But what I'm trying to find out is, when you mentioned some signs that people would be in an impending stroke. I'm trying to find out now, when you call up the doctor, you have the phone number, you call up the doctor, or you call the hospital, or whatever you are doing. What happens from there? Is it that you are going to just say, get to a hospital, or what happens?
Okay. Basically, an impending stroke is similar to an impending heart attack. And so the first thing we'd recommend is that you take an aspirin, because that can help to modify the clotting process. You take an aspirin, and then you come to the hospital right away. If you come to the hospital, we anticipate that the hospital can do some preliminary investigations urgently. In other words, you need to have a team on standby for managing strokes. It's not something you wait on. So once you call your doctor will call the regional hospital and say, I have an impending stroke. Could you stand by to do these investigations for me, like right now? And the investigations that have to be done is a CT scan. Quickly. It has to be done quickly to determine if you are hemorrhaging in your brain.
Hold on a second, doctor. It's very important. So you're saying that you as a doctor would call through to the hospital and advise them that you have a patient who is going to be coming there and so on. And then you said that they would. So 2 things I wanted to ask you. The first one is whether that is a sort of standard procedure, that the hospitals do have teams that are waiting and can deal with stroke victims or victims of impending stroke.
I am not.
And number two is whether the CT scan is available, because as far as I understand, most hospitals don't have those sort of equipment.
Okay, now I'm presenting to you an ideal situation. So you asked me what I would recommend. In an ideal situation, I would say take 2 aspirin, head straight to the hospital. I will call and say, I have a patient who have an impending stroke. Could you mobilize your stroke team to be on standby? And part of the process is an urgent CT scan immediately, not in an hour, 2 hours, or next week. It has to be done immediately to rule out an hemorrhage. And then, because if you have an hemorrhage, you're not a candidate for using the machine, because the machine cannot be used if you have an hemorrhage. If a CT is done and you do not have an hemorrhage, then the next phase is to do an MRI to find out where is the infarction. So the hemorrhage is to determine if there's the CT is to determine if there's an hemorrhage. Then you need to do in your facility, your stroke facility, the MRI node should be activated to detect if an infarction, where the infarction is. And then in an ideal world, you'll also try to locate the site of the blockage, and then you ship them off to you for the surgeon to remove the blockage. That's an ideal situation. But the minimum that needs to be done if you have an impending stroke is a CT to rule out an hemorrhage. Because if there's an hemorrhage, the thrombectomy cannot be done. Now, I think most hospitals in Jamaica do have the ability to have to do an urgent CT. I'm not saying that they have the CT, but they do have the ability. And the minimum that the government could do is to put a CT scan in every hospital. Because without the CT scan, to determine if there's an hemorrhage, it's pointless to send them to UA, because UA will not be able to deal with it, because you will also have to do the CT scan and waste time. We only have 4 hours, So if I send you to one of the regions, the CT is done, so we now move into our number 2. We call you and say we have a thrombotic infarction. We're going to put this person on a helicopter and take them to UA within an hour, 3 hours. Mobilize your stroke team and get ready to do an angiogram to find the location of the blockage, and then do what is necessary. 3 to 4.5 hours. Now,
Doctor, you have, as you have said, in an ideal world, and you have explained the procedures that should be undertaken. But, the lack of education about some of these things in Jamaica, I mean, we're repairing a little bit of this, and I'm being educated by you right now. But the lack of education about some of this in Jamaica is what I suspect allows people to be so coy about the system. Because Dr. Bailey, let me tell you, sir, because you are a scientist, you're a medical person, and you're not involved in this side of the thing. But let me tell you, many hospitals do not have a CT scan.
That's outsourced, yes.
Machine. And they're outsourced.
Just hold on. Just CT scan.
No, not just that.
No, not just that. They don't have diagnostic.
Most of the public hospitals in Jamaica are under-equipped.
Yes, well, I want to speak with Dr. Bailey about the CT scan in particular, because he says that is what part of the
MRI
that will be employed. As to the MRI, nobody even talk about that. But colleagues, Dr. Bailey, a friend of mine just needed some heart care. Just had some heart care needs, and was being sent to St. Anne's Hospital by her doctor to see a cardiologist. When she went down there, There's no cardiologist at St. Anne's Bay Hospital. And I checked this. The St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, there's no cardiologist. Now, what I'm saying, and we're going back to our stroke discussion with Dr. Bailey facilitated. What I'm saying is that stroke is a primary, is number two, number one after violence.
In men. In men.
In men. Number two for women after, is it diabetes? No?
Diabetes, yes.
Right. So this is a very, very serious matter.
Major cause of death. Major cause of death.
How widespread? Can I ask the doctor this? How widespread?
You joined late, Desmond, but go ahead.
Yes, he went through that, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Desmond. Go ahead.
Okay.
I would like to ask the doctor, how widespread are strokes in Jamaica?
Okay, I'll just remind. Okay, it's the second leading cause of death in men and women in Jamaica. It causes about 10,000 deaths per year. So it's the second leading cause of death in men and women in Jamaica. So it is
about
a major, it's a major, but it's roughly 1.4% of the population is affected by stroke annually.
So, and Franklin, you heard what the doctor said a while ago, and based on what I understand from this program, only one machine in Jamaica, as we speak, to address this sickness, which is so widespread, and it is based at the University of the West Indies Hospital, miles away from St. Anne, where I come from. If I took sick with a stroke, by the time I reach university, I'll be dead.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I suspect you might not be dead, but you'll be disabled.
You'll be disabled.
So, which you might regard as similar to living dead. But anyway, because if you are disabled, in many cases, you become immobile, you can't talk, you can't swallow, you can't move. You're basically in a kind of crazy vegetative state. So I've actually answered the question that stroke is a major problem in Jamaica, and the measures that that particular machine can reverse it in about 80% of the time. If you get there before 6 hours. If you get there before 6 hours. And all the preliminary tests are done before you arrive. Because if you have to travel to UA to get the preliminary test done, you have passed the 6 hours. Therefore, the regional hospital should have done the CTs, done the relevant blood investigations, identify the location of the blockage, and you just go to UA to have the blockage removed.
In other words, if you're in Port Maria or near to Port Maria Hospital, you're supposed to go to that hospital first. They're supposed to set up all those procedures, do all of those tests for you before you send to you, whether by road or whatever way you get.
Send you in an ambulance or helicopter.
And Dr. Bailey, it's not inspiring a lot of confidence in me today, based upon what I know is out there. And that's why I'm really just asking you, if it's not, I don't know if there are some people who are said to have suffered, or you see it in the common parlance, a massive stroke. A massive stroke. Is that different? Would the conditions be different from somebody who suffered a slight stroke? And can you define what those might be, doctor?
Excellent question, Franklin, because the machine that was established is not meant to be used for massive strokes because the damage will have already been done. And in most cases, when you have a massive stroke, it really means that there is damage to the brain, and the purpose of the machine is to prevent damage to the brain. It's to facilitate the return of blood supply to the brain so that it's not damaged. If you have a massive stroke and you cannot talk, you cannot move, you have no movement of the upper and lower limb. The damage has already been done, and therefore this machine would not be helpful. It is for you to turn up when you have those warning signs, facial drooping, and the arm weakness, and the speech problem. So we want to catch you before you end up with total paralysis of the upper and lower limb and total unconsciousness. If that's the case, the damage has long been done and you can't be helped. So the purpose behind the machine is to prevent you from progressing to a massive stroke.
Okay, this may be a good time to welcome Marvel Hewitt, who says good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, Marvel.
The point I wanted to emphasize, frankly, because of the timelines and time is brain, is that we're encouraging all the regional hospitals to at least have the minimum equipment to do the CT scan, to do the heart test and echocardiogram to make sure your heart is okay, and to do the lab tests like your blood fat levels, your glucose, and the factors that contribute to bleeding. By the time they arrive at UE, all that should be in a package for them to just take you to the suite. It is called a stroke suite, and just do what they have to do. Because if you turn up at our number 4 for them to start all those investigations, by the time they're finished, it will mean our number 6 or 7 or 8, and by then it will be too late. Even though you might benefit after 6 hours, the risk of recovery dwindles with time. So it's important that we recognize that one machine in the country is absolutely wonderful, but it's the beginning of a transformation process, I think, in stroke management. If we,
Dr. Bailey, some months ago on this program, I spoke with Dr. James, who is in charge of looking at these diagnostic stuff all over the country and so forth. And one of the things that also burdened me at the time is the cost of these things. Is this machine at UE, from your research, so expensive that we're unlikely to see one in all of the other regions?
Franklin, I wasn't able to determine the name of the machine, and that, so I can't comment, but I suspect that it is costly. But that's easy to verify. I suspect that it is costly, and so that would be an inhibiting factor for them to.
But even what you are calling for, the basic, having the basic equipment to do the CT scan. What else you said, Doc? The hospital.
Okay, it's important to recognize the process. The first thing you need to do is to determine if there's a hemorrhage or not. Because if there's a hemorrhage, this person has to be treated medically with supportive treatment. If there's no hemorrhage, but there's obvious reduction of blood supply to a particular region of the brain resulting in certain symptoms, then you need to determine if an infarction, you need to determine the health of the brain tissue. And only the MRI can help you to determine that at this very early stage. The CT will tell you if the brain tissue is dead. We don't want any dead brain tissue. We want to find out if the brain tissue the health is being compromised. You need an MRI to detect that. And then you need to do a thing called an angiogram, where dye is injected into the veins to identify the location of the blockage. Because you can't start unblocking blood vessels unless you identify which blood vessel to unblock. And they're called large vessel blockage. So you look for big vessels, because if it's a very small vessel, you won't be able to do anything. But the big ones are the ones that you're looking for. And you need to do an angiogram to locate the blockage. So you need a CT scan, a minimum an angiogram. You could bypass the MRI, but you need to do the angiogram before you can intervene, because you need to know where to go. And so, can the local hospitals do the CT scan and the angiogram? The answer is yes. But are they costly? The answer is also yes. But because of the high impact of stroke on the morbidity or mortality of Jamaica, the second leading cause of death in men and in women, it behoves us to try and find the money to do what is necessary to save our people's lives. So I see.
I think you're right on target there, Doc. So help us again with the education part of it. What do you suggest to people to do not to make themselves more susceptible to stroke?
All right. So in fact, in my opening remarks, I said that apart from old age and being a male, over which you have no control with respect to narrowing of blood vessels with the passage of time, the majority of strokes are eminently preventable by ensuring that you identify and treat high blood pressure, which affects 1 out of every 3 Jamaicans. We need to identify and treat diabetes, which affects 12% of Jamaicans. And diabetes is extremely treatable. I tell my patients that if you get complications of diabetes in 2025, you've committed suicide, because we have such good and wonderful drugs to prevent diabetes. There's no reason to get a stroke from diabetes. We recommend that you check your doctor annually and have your heart checked to see if your heart is beating properly, because irregularity of the heartbeat, called atrial fibrillation, can cause it to slow blood clots. Therefore, check your doctor regularly and ensure that it does a heart test on you. You must not smoke. Smoking causes narrowing of blood vessels and predisposes to stroke. High cholesterol is extremely common in this country. 25% of Jamaicans have high cholesterol, which facilitate narrowing of the blood vessels, which result in stroke. All this jerk pork and all these various types of fast food is extremely bad for you, and it is just facilitating your early demise. Therefore, get your cholesterol checked. Obesity is a major problem now. 55% of Jamaicans are now suffering from overnutrition. And obesity releases all kinds of chemicals that obstruct your blood vessels and will cause your early demise. And of course, alcohol, a small drink per day is okay. But overindulgence is dangerous. So those are and of course, physical exercise and proper dieting will help to improve your health. So the take-home point is that since, unfortunately, we only have one machine in Jamaica, and since apparently we might not have the backup services to do the investigations before you're sent to UAE to do the embolectomy, it's best to avoid getting a stroke. And most importantly, despite your best effort, you end up with an early warning of a stroke, facial drooping, arm weakness, difficulty speaking, it's time to act is no. Call your doctor, whose phone number should be always on your person. And
yes.
So those are my advice.
I have a question for you, doctor, but I would love to take this comment from Marva Hewitt. She's asking the question. She's saying all these tests are at a cost. So what if the person does not have any funds? That's one of our viewers, the question from one of our viewers.
That's a good question.
Yes, do you want to take that first, and then I'll ask my question?
That's a good question. But the government of Jamaica has put systems in place to procure imaging free of charge. And therefore, they should have private facilities perhaps on standby to provide you with the various investigations.
No, it's not free. It's not free. When you're sent out to these places, I just the same young lady I was telling you about who was having heart problems and so forth. She paid $75,000 for the CT scan.
No, I thought it was free.
No,
it's
I
not
thought
free.
there's an arrangement with.
When the hospital sends you out there, it's not free.
Oh?
Not free. A family member has to come and pay that money, or else you won't be able to do the test.
So we have a problem there, because we have a problem because if you're going to do an emergency CT, you have to mobilize the facility. You have to bring out the radiologist, and the team has to come. And so, if it is done as an emergency, it's going to cost more than a regular CT because it might be needed at night. So, but I really thought, forgive my ignorance, that there was an arrangement to get these tests done at the government's cost. So unless that is true.
I don't know of that unless it is more than, recent really means within 3 years. But unless it's last week.
That they picked up, but a part of it that once they send you out there, you still going to have to pay something.
You have to pay.
Okay, so
but Doc, I was trying to find out before the UA, the machine at UHWI became available. The process would take place all together in a hospital. In the hospital that you go to first. Is that what would happen?
All right. You see, you see, there are two approaches to treating stroke. One is medical, and the other one is surgical. The machine which has been acquired offers you what is called mechanical thrombectomy, which means that it is a surgical procedure where the clot is removed. The clot is removed. But prior to the advent of this machine, we had other options, We had other options, which is called medical intervention. And medical intervention actually uses medication to lyse or dissolve clots. So that is a tool that has been around for quite a while. So the new thinking is that if you inject a medication to lyse the clot and you also follow up with the thrombectomy, the outcome is better than if you just do the medical treatment alone. So the combination of the medical treatment to soften the clot and the thrombectomy to remove it has been shown to give a significant higher recovery rate of patient. But we have always had for years the ability to inject a medication to lyse the clot. But the problem is, in order for you to inject the medication, you have to do all the relevant investigations before, which is the CT and the angiograms.
All the same.
So all the tests have to be done before you lyse with a medication or you do the surgery. So we have always had the ability to lyse the clot. But I'm not sure how many hospitals have a stroke unit that offers that service. But that is not expensive, the lysing of the clot. And the machine for thrombectomy is expensive. CTs worldwide now are not expensive. And so we just have to bite the bullet and get them. So that at least if we can't give the thrombectomy, we should be able to lyse the clot and prevent adverse outcomes.
Dr.
Okay,
Bailey,
my question, I really don't want Dr. Bailey to go without answering this question because it has to do with what is inevitable. Age. This is my understanding based on my own research, and I would love the doctor's comment on this. There's a difference between chronological age and biological age. There's nothing that we can do about our chronological age, but there's something that we can do about our biological age. Are you of that opinion as well, Dr. Bailey?
Well, yes. There is this concept of accelerated aging. Our chronological age is understandable. But what happens is that a lot of persons ignore what we call self-care. If you don't pay attention to self-care, and your body is a machine that is constantly working and manufacturing and producing byproducts, and if you don't pay attention to self-care, the aging process will accelerate. And so if you fail to eat properly, if you fail to sleep well, if you fail to take appropriate exercise, and you do not pay attention to stress management, then you're going to age prematurely. And I've seen some of my patients in their 50s that looks like 80 because of the kind of lifestyle that they have lived. And so all the attendant problem that comes with aging will just occur faster. So it is important for us to pay attention to self-care so that at least we can live out our years free of most of the maladies that comes with premature aging.
Well, I'm happy for your answer, because when we were talking about what you can do something about, I remember you saying, and you can correct me if I didn't hear correctly, that age, there's nothing that you can do about that. And that was when the question came to my mind. Your chronological age, you can do nothing about, but there's still something that can be done.
Okay, I totally agree.
Thanks for that.
For healthy lifestyle will definitely retard a lot of the problems that we see. And I've known many patients who, I've had a patient who was 38 who was extremely obese. His cholesterol was very high, and he could easily pass for 68, and he died from a stroke because all the aging process was just accelerated in him. And so, yes, one has to practice self-care to avoid accelerated biological aging.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Dr. Bailey, you have certainly stimulated my thinking. I really appreciate the details that you have given us to understand the stroke. The idea of the machine really pushed me when I saw that there's just this one machine in Jamaica. And the reason I was asking you about the situation and the treatment prior to that machine is that I know that people, for example, as you have said, in Western Jamaica, would still be going through the procedures, not thinking so much about what's available at you, not necessarily what they would be going through. I appreciate your the education about what are the predisposing factors and the fact that these symptoms that you pick up are ahead of the stroke and that you must move fast. Grab your doctor's number, but move fast, call up the doctor and be there. But I'm still a little bit concerned, and I'm going to do some more thinking about it, about what our hospitals are able to do, what is available in them in treating somebody who turns up there saying, I think that stroke is coming up.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. McKnight. This is quite an interesting program because I don't think you address health issues as often as perhaps you and I would like to talk about. But the truth is, we have to perhaps, accept that we do have financial constraints and we need to prioritize. And my concern right now is health promotion and disease prevention as be key to us addressing our healthcare needs in Jamaica, rather than waiting until we have adverse outcomes and not being able to treat them as effectively as we ought to be treated. Yes. And going forward, we hope the government will be acquiring more machines and put them in all the regions so that at least all Jamaicans will benefit from mechanical thrombectomy.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey, and congratulations for being awarded the Order of Distinction Commander Class in the recently announced National Honors List. I know you didn't want us to tell everybody about that, but
thank you.
Well
That's public knowledge. Thank you for bringing it up. Congratulations, Doctor, and keep up your amazing work.
Thank you very much to all of you, and looking forward to having another chat with you soon, Franklin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now, Desmond was supposed to be going off at this point, but Desmond is actually already off. He's going to be on a panelist on a radio program dealing with the election date watch. Winnie, I don't think you have too much of an interest in the date. Do you have an interest in the date, Winnie?
But of course, I'm Jamaican. I would want to know. It affects me. Of course, I do have an interest
well, there are
in the
some
date.
people who are doing the mathematics, working it out and saying that it could be as early as September 3, which is when it was the last time, and that that might be seen a special look or whatever in that date for the Prime Minister, as well as it could be a little later, and that the school year might even be. And then there's a lot of speculation about that. But guess what happened? In 2 or 3 hours, I don't think more than 3 hours, we will all really know what the date is.
Yes,
so Winnie, we're coming to you now on something. Sorry, you were saying something there?
No, I was saying that what I'm interested in is not the speculation about the date, but the date itself. That's what. So I don't join the speculation. I just want to hear the date. I'm not interested in the speculation.
Yes, and only one person, I suspect still, only one person knows the date.
Yes, others would suspect by close association with him and what's going on. But
but the Prime Minister is the one who has the date, and who can set the date, and he will do it by the laws. Yes. Okay, Winnie. So we have been talking about other things, and we spoke about the stroke as something that continues a health issue, and no matter what happens with the date and with what happens consequent to the date, these health issues are with us.
With us.
One other issue that has been with us for a while, and we have been talking about it on this program, is the life certificates.
Oh yes.
And when you have kept your eyes on that, help us a little bit and give us an update on what's happening regarding life certificates.
Oh yes, I'm going to take us back to May 2023, when Floyd Green was working out of the Prime Minister's office. We know exactly what happened and why he was there. So he made the announcement during this sectoral debate that the government was moving to end the life certificate regime. We had Dr. Nigel Clark as Minister of Finance then. He's gone. Floyd Green is back to the post that he had prior to that.
Ministry of Agriculture.
Right. He's back to the Ministry of Agriculture. So I have a question. Is it because Nigel Clark left and Floyd Green is back in agriculture why this is stalled? And I must say, within the context of today, I don't believe in election promises. I don't believe in manifestos. Why? The people outside, they are out there saying what they would do, but they are not there. During the sectoral debates, they are there. They have the money. It's a part of the budget. So what they say, I believed. No, I don't.
Okay, that's the end of today's show. Yes. Thanks to all my listeners and viewers. Yes. Thanks to my technical operator, Kevin. Yes, and to all the users of the roads, remember that you must be careful. We have to reduce the fatalities. And be careful. Take care of yourself. The gunmen are out there. Yes, and they are merciless. So take good care. Until Wednesday, this is Rebel Radio, and I am Desmond Richards.
at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is what built fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine for the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end. He's always there for me. So no matter what the circumstances may be, no